I'm here today with Mondo Gonzalez, and as you've seen already, Mondo has become the co-host of Prophecy Watchers. Gary's going to be back with us just next week, we believe. And Mondo has instituted a whole new series of programs, upgrades, and things that we're doing at Prophecy Watchers to create more content. And I would love to have him share just a few of the experience he's had here in the last 3 months and some of the upgrades we've made to the ministry.
It's been great, Bob. I mean, we have had the opportunity to really do a weekly prophecy update. We're looking at the current events, we're looking at news, we're looking at really people that write in and ask questions, so we've been doing question and answers as well. But we really want to be quick to respond to people's comments as well as to the events that are happening. We've also done Skype interviews where we've talked to Aaron Lipkin from Jerusalem, right there, as it relates to archaeology and other topics. We're trying to do a weekly question and answers because we get so many questions that come in, especially as it relates to prophecy, but other things. I mean, we want to be Bible teachers, and as Gary mentions all the time, we want to be theologians that provide a multitude of answers, and we've been working on that. We've also been really opening ourselves up to cutting-edge research. We see this in the magazine, but we have people approaching us. We like to vet things out, and we have some pretty exciting things coming up in the next few weeks, really about the Darby idea, the preacher rapture idea that people assume or make accusations is from Darby, but there's some interesting things. People think, well, is there anything left to discover in Bible prophecy or even Bible history, Bible church history? The answer is yes. So we can't really spill the beans yet, but that's coming up.
One of my favorite and least favorite subjects, Margaret MacDonald, John Nelson Darby invented the rapture in 1830. If you don't know it yet, that's a complete lie, and we're going to get into that in the days ahead.
Yeah, lots of writing and research things that we're doing for the magazine and other opportunities. So it's been great. I mean, we've been busy, no doubt.
Well, the last couple of weeks, you've been really busy. We've had Tom Horn here. We've had Josh Peck here. We've had Tim Mahoney here. We've had L.A. Marzulli here. I mean, we have had our hands full. Tommy Ice was here just yesterday. So we have been recording programs and creating content at a rapid pace. You know, God gave us this magnificent studio. It was never about the studio. It was about getting the message of salvation to the entire world. And since we've been on the Daystar Network, what we've seen is truly extraordinary. Literally, people coming from the four corners of the world, places I never even knew existed. Questions, comments, people literally being exposed to Bible prophecy for the first time in their lives. And that is what drives us around here. It's not the big, beautiful building. It's not the 3 sets that we've built inside the building. For the first time, we have the opportunity to reach the whole world with the gospel in what I think is a spectacular way. The work that's been done here in the last 3 or 4 months, it's been a lot of work. It's been a lot of expense. But you know, here we are in a finished studio. You're getting ready to start your news program in a brand new studio, your archaeology updates, the Q&As, and we're looking forward to having you and Gary together starting Bible studies. One of the dreams I've had is to actually have you and Gary go through his Time Travelers of the Bible book and make it into a series of videos so people really can understand the depth of the research and the wisdom in that book. So euphoric times here going on. I mean, this is, I think, really one of the most exciting days I've ever experienced personally. Now, let's talk a little bit about the Prophecy Watcher magazine. You've already written several articles in the magazine, an article on the Jewish temple, an article coming this month on the city of Gath, the home of Goliath. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty exciting stuff where, you know, I was part of the excavation there back in 2008, and so I've been following their blog, which is he updates all the time, yearly actually, because they only dig for a couple months, but lately there's been some really, it's fun watching the language coming out. Megalithic, large structure, you know, enormous fortifications, walls that are, you know, 12 feet wide or bigger. And so I catch these things, and the challenge is as a Christian who believes the Bible, you know, the particular professor, he's kind of I would call him a moderate skeptic, but you research these and you find them and you go, hey, why isn't he talking about who built this or where it came from? And so to me, some of these things are great to research and to bring to the audience for sure.
Well, L.A. Marzulli's ears are probably ringing right about now. And in fact, L.A. was with us, you know, here just a few days ago before heading back to California. But this is a subject that creates great controversy in the church. There's people out there who mockingly call us the science fiction network, and we just laugh. And I think people who really study the Bible in the original Hebrew language, the language God gave to Moses, can read between the lines and see things that aren't always obvious in our English Bibles today. Mm-hmm. And so this subject to us is really, really fascinating. You have a study you're in the middle of working on right now on the Smithsonian.
Yes, I mean, that's again another rumor and myth that's out there. There's actually been several books recently that I'm going to interact with where the idea of the myth of the mound builders. And I mean, these are interesting. They're researched, but they're selectively researched. And so, again, I invite people, and what I'll show is just you can look and go to the Smithsonian archives, and that's what I've done. And it's laborious work. I'm almost finished, but you just go in there and you put in some search terms: 7-footer, 8-footer, giant, gigantic. And it's interesting the stuff that comes back. I mean, it's original research straight out of their archive. So it'll be fun to see how that plays out. But again, what we see is it shares it and it confirms the reliability of what we understand in Scripture. People will call it science fiction, but we call it supernatural. And we're not ashamed of that.
We believe in the supernatural. The Bible is a supernatural book, no doubt about it. For the last several months, we've been offering a lifetime subscription to our magazine, both the print version and the digital version. And this is what is paid for the work here and the investment we've made in this studio for the future. That subscription is running out. On October 1st, the lifetime subscription will be no more. The lifetime digital subscription will be no more. And we'll be moving on into another part of the development of the ministry. So this is the last call for you today. The lifetime print subscription is available for $150, the digital subscription, $100. You'll get that until the rapture or until we're no longer printing the magazine. But to me, it's the gift that keeps on giving. It's something that is a little bit too good to be true. And I can tell you this, that in the last 6 months, we've probably had 6 paper increases. The cost of our magazine has increased dramatically. Even getting paper for our magazine in the age we live in today has become a nightmare. Can you imagine a magazine printer calling and saying, "Bob, we have no paper to print your magazine"? That's what we're dealing with. A lot of the actual paper mills, believe it or not, are making cardboard boxes for, you can probably figure out who, Amazon. And they've shifted away from making paper for print magazines, which is like crazy. But that's what we're dealing with. We're probably going to have a small price increase in the regular cost of the magazine moving forward. So this is your last call. This is your last opportunity. You literally can subscribe to the Prophecy Watcher over the next day or two, up until October 1st, for a lifetime. You may already get the magazine. Subscribe for your pastor. Subscribe for a family member. And help us continue the work that we're doing here. Mondo, you have been such a blessing to the ministry in the last few months. It's given Gary time to take a little break, refresh his batteries, finish his book. We're so desperate to get Gary's new book out. I talked to him about it this morning, and he's literally accumulating the chapters now. Tom Horn is probably going to publish the book for us, which is exciting. And it's been in the works for probably 15 years. And we've reached the point where, I've said, Gary, come on, let's get this done. And so those are exciting days. So you've been a blessing. God brought you here, I really think, at the perfect time. I don't know why I should be surprised. Everything that's happened at Prophecy Watchers in the last 7 years could be put into the miracle category in the hand of God. It's exciting to be here. So thank you for leaving Lake Tahoe for Oklahoma City. We're having a good time together, if you can't tell. We're brainstorming new ideas. There are things that are going to come out of this ministry in the days ahead that are literally going to be mind-blowing. It's all about content and reaching the world with the gospel. So thanks for joining us today. For Mondo Gonzalez, I'm Bob Ulrich. Appreciate your time. Keep praying for Prophecy Watchers. The devil is busy. He hates this ministry. We've seen it over and over again in multiple ways, but greater is he that is in us that is in the world.